In this video I'll be carving a Gadwall drake bust, just a head and chest section, and then I'll be going back and painting in all the details with acrylic paints. It's a great project for a beginner because you don't have to worry about carving the entire bird, but you can see how you like carving without that big investment of time. I'm Jason Lucio, a professional wood carver and former world champion at the Ward Foundation's annual World Wildfowl Carving Competition. I make videos of some of the carvings that I'm working on. Hopefully you find it either helpful, educational, or entertaining to watch. So I hope you enjoy the video.
Every great carving begins with the pattern. If you want to create this exact carving yourself, this drawing pattern is available in the link below. Everything is scaled to the real life size of a Gadwall. If you carve it, I'd love to see how it turned out. Tag me in a post or DM me on Instagram. Next, I transfer the pattern onto a block of tupelo wood that I had shipped up from North Carolina. I bring this over to the bandsaw and cut my shapes out from each angle. This step is pretty self-explanatory as shown in the video, but let me know if you need any more tips in the comments. This piece was commissioned by a client in Texas who had a collection of decorative decoys. After seeing my work on Instagram, this is the third bust that he has ordered, saying that the Gadwall species was badass and he'd like a full-bodied decoy in the future. Now I draw out all the major details so that when I get my large saber-toothed rotary burr out, I know where to shave off the bulk. I measure out the placement of the eyes as according to the pattern so that everything stays exact, and I always draw a center line down the center for symmetry. Now it's not necessary to draw all these details on because they're eventually going to get carved off, but I like to do it anyways to give me a better sense of the bird and where things are going to go. Here's the saber-toothed bird that I've had for a number of years. Keep light pressure when using this thing. You can always shave more wood off, but you can't bring it back. The goal is nice rounded shapes. There's no flat spots on a bird, so I keep that in mind as I'm roughing out this wood. I do the same process for the neck piece as well. Coming back to the face with a smaller rotary tool now, I start deepening the details, especially around the eyes and the cheek structure.
So this is just the early rough out. Just starting to get the shape. The things are still square, still flat on the sides. That's just where I take it when I do that first rough out to get rid of the bulk of the wood. And as I carve, I'll keep referencing back to my pattern that I've drawn. Measure the distance where I want things to be, like plotting out the eyes or the cheek, just to keep everything in check.
I'm coming in with a smaller saber-tooth burr on a 3/32 inch shaft. Use this especially around the bills and the eyes. I'm focused on clean, flowing curves. I switched to a carbide steel stump cutter for tighter areas and sharper transitions. With its slightly pointed tip, it lets me define the edges without tearing up the surrounding wood for fine details. Those indents around the eyes are one of the things that give ducks wide fields of vision, allowing them to detect predators almost directly behind them. Looking good so far. I've glued the head onto the body, and now I've got to blend the two together to appear as one solid form. Time to sand. A little bit rougher piece of wood, a little harder grain in it compared to the normal piece of Tupelo. Still needs a little bit sanding, but I'm going to drill the holes out for the eyes, so I have them marked for 8mm. Just got to hollow them out, then I can put the glass eyes in. Little diamond ball and drill them out. There, now I have the eyes drilled. I'll mix up some putty and I'll put these glass eyes in there. Now I build the eyelids with epoxy sculpt, a 2-part modeling compound. I carefully shape the eyes to get the expression that is wanted. This is always my favorite moment. The carving instantly feels alive. And with that, the carving process is complete and it's time to paint. I've screwed in a temporary handle so I won't leave fingerprints while sealing with lacquer. Finally, I drilled the hole for the mounting dowel that will eventually go in the base. It gets a solid coat of primer. Either use gesso, or in this case I use this auto body primer. Alright, the Gadwall head all primed. Now I'm ready to paint. Using an airbrush, I quickly apply the overall base color to the chest and then the head. I also like using the airbrush to create the soft transitions of color, like on the crown of this Gadwall, or for accentuating highlights and shadows like I do around the cheeks. As I paint, I'm constantly referencing real birds, looking at their patterns, how the colors fade, where they sharpen, and where they stay muted. Gadwalls have a subtle color palette, helping them camouflage in nature. Using a mid-gray tone, I roughly lay out the feather pattern on the chest. Once established, I will further refine them and add details to clean up the look. I also go over and darken the spots and bar pattern on the head, as well as paint the eye ring black. Put a little bit of water on the eyes, just to soften the paint that's on it. Now I'm going to carefully scrape it off. Now for a little varnish on the bill. Cut that in half or more with some water. I don't want it too shiny. And here it is, the finished Gadwall. Can you believe this was inside that chunk of wood all along? All in all, this piece took about 40 hours from start to finish. Again, if you decide to carve using my pattern, I'd love to see it. And as always, all the tools I use are linked below in the description as well. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more carving and painting videos like this, make sure you subscribe. I've got a lot more coming.